Alrighty then, the next step in changing out this window motor and regulator is to pull this panel off, this inner door panel. So it has a bunch of 7mm bolts and a 10mm bolt. And in my case, somebody's been in here, so it's got some weird screws and things that I'm going to have to take out in some manner. And then we're going to take this panel off. We're going to tilt it. We're going to pull the control rods from here and back in here. Reach down and disconnect the speaker. And then we've got to pull the wiring harness through to the power door lock, which is somewhere. And we take this whole panel off. We're going to lower the window in order to do that. It makes it easier. Luckily, I can move my window. It's not failed completely yet. And the whole thing's going to come out, and we'll put it somewhere, probably on the ground. And, I think we got to drill these rivets. Let's see what else has to come off of there. We'll have to pull this plastic out of the way too. Anyway, that's the next thing. I'm going to do that. Okay, root all my screws, and I peeled off the deflector. I ended up using a sharp putty knife to work my way through some of the gluey spots. Some of it just peeled right away. You get it loose and you think, man, it still won't come loose. I don't see any screws down there. Once you get the plastic off, you'll note that there's this little tab hanging down there and one right there. So this whole door panel has to come up a little bit. Just grab somewhere. And so I can do this with one hand. Watch this. Stand by right there. Alright, once you pop that loose, this whole thing's going to drop. So at that point, I'm going to need to put the window down. And then I'm going to tilt the panel out and reach in there and get all those connectors and things like that. I'm going to make note by video here. The harness comes in through here, lays right there, comes back over here, goes up through there. And I can replay this to see where all the wires go when I'm done. Get ready to put it back together. Alright, let's get to that. Okay, so let's put the window back down all the way. You can pry these stinking things back out. And I just want to show you in here. There's these little tree dealies you're going to have to push through. Once you disconnect all these control rods from the door handle, pull them out of their little guides there. And this one here just pulls straight down. It's just a little rubber mount. It just, you can only pull the window out so far, or the door panel so far within hanging all that stuff, and it's going to hang down on those two bottom rollers, which we're going to slide out to the front here eventually. Reach down there and get the speaker connector off, and then you're hung up on these harnesses. So I end up grabbing them with a little pair of pliers. Oh, I actually have their slip joints. I can probably, so I'm just going to grab them. I'm going to use my needle nose probably, but just squeeze those together and push them out. This one you're just going to, it's a tree, so probably going to something like that, or pull it from the inside. Same kind of deal, and all the rest of them I'll use my needle nose to reach down and grab those other ones. And we'll see what happens with this one over here. Look at it, actually yes, turned out to be the easiest one. You just reach in here and twist and it pops right out. Reach inside to grab all the little ones. Well, I could do the same with this one. And you come up here, has a cover on it, pop that in, that one comes out. That's going to go in that way. And it's got one right here. That releases that cable. That one comes into there and hangs out there. This whole thing's going to go in there. Once I do that, I have to disconnect the motor. And I think I think this whole thing will go far enough with the motor attached. So what we're going to do is slide this out forward, take the whole panel and turn it upright 90 degrees, and slide this one out forward with it. And then I think we can disconnect the motor. Let's see how that goes. Alright, so when you get that panel twisted about 45 degrees, you can reach in and easily pop that motor connector off of there. And then you have your panel. Which is off. And there's the motor and regulator, and I got a whole new assembly. So these rivets are going to get popped. Going to punch the center out of them, then drill them. I think it's at 3/8. Those two, and that one there, and that one there. So there's two from that side, two from that side, and then we're going to have to get some screws, some lock nuts to put it back together. This one, the replacement I got did not come with any of that, so that's the next step. And then we're going to clean out this whole thing in there, and we're going to grease that up a little bit. Almost 300,000 miles, doesn't look too bad. Alright. Okay, once you get that inner door panel on, you want to put the plastic panel back on it. Well, what I use is good old 3M Super 77. The proper way you use that is to spray both sides, both the plastic and the panel, and give them like 3, 4, 5 minutes till they get just tacky, and then stick them together and they'll stick forever. But I'm not big on that because this may have to come off again, so what I do is simply spray the back of the plastic, immediately stick it up there. It won't stick right away, but it'll kind of tack it on there, and then you just keep coming back and pushing on it a little more, and it'll eventually stick to it. The reason I do that, I don't want it to stick super good. Make sure you don't cover your speaker, because I may have to come back up and get it back off, and that stuff, once you glue it on there, is really good, and it'll really stick it on there. And even though it's not likely I'm gonna have to pull this panel off of here again, hopefully, you never know. These door handles go, at this point, this is my, I don't know, probably my third door handle in the last 100,000 miles, so I believe I just do that from in here though. I don't think I have to reach in there, but hopefully everything works right now, because I don't have to do that. So once I got that stuck on there, I'm gonna go ahead and hang my outer door panel on there, and we should be good to go. Then we'll do a final window test, but I can't do it right now because I tinted this window a few days ago, so I'll come back and do that when it's ready.